It's underground, boy, the TV, come banging on the beats. I gotta keep my information real for my peeps on the streets. It's underground, boy, the TV. They label me underrated, hated by the devil in his house, Negro. But they can't stop the flow of information. Underground, boy, the TV station. Raising hell in this wicked nation. Liberation be the reason, and any season you can find underground, boy, the TV, banging on the beats. Underground, boy, the TV. Banging on the beats, underground, boy, your TV. Underground, boy, your TV. Come banging on the beats, underground, boy, your TV. Underground, boy, your TV.
Peace and love and black power. Peace and love and black power to all the melanated and black people, African people around the world. Peace and black power. Yes. Underground Warrior TV back with another important exclusive video for tonight. We're going to be talking about the colonizers' puppet. We're going to talk about the colonizer house Negro. I have a question. People that know me, they're not in the conscious movement, but they always say that I'm angry for exposing racism. Tell me how that works. I'm a black man in America. My ancestors and my people today are subjected to the white supremacy racism in this world. We constantly are being combated. We on the defense. They on the offense all the time, doing stuff to black people. But somehow you are classified as a hate teacher for exposing the racism in America. Tell me how that works. Only bougie niggas would say something like that because they're blinded by the relationship that they have with white people. They believe that white people are almighty and black people ain't nothing. They believe black people ain't nothing, so we have no premise and no platform that we should speak against the white supremacists because they in love with white people. That's a very selfish Negro. So today, we're going to expose the house Negro. We got to oust the house Negro. If we wanted to succeed and have true liberation as a people, we have to get rid of the stool pigeon, the people that sell us out. We have to. You feel what I'm saying? So black family, I want to talk about black people in general, what happened on the continent of Africa on the 7th, and what's happening right now with the rise of black people and the white ruling class that understands the prophecy that the black people of the world is now waking up to that long slumber sleep of 400 years ago, where they put our people to sleep, where they stole our language, stole our identity. That's why you got a big identity crisis here in America among black people. Black people hate being black because the white supremacists painted the image, created the environment to hate black people. His first move that he did was give you a white God. He gave you a white Jesus. That blinded you. So the black woman is in love with a white Jesus who didn't even exist. She loves the white man. That's why the black woman challenged you. That's why she bickered with you and won't give you your props as king in the earth, because the white supremacists paint the image, created the environment to hate black people, to hate the black man in general. So why do bougie niggas make excuse for white abuse and call you angry? Just you expose the white supremacists. You don't kiss white ass. You don't kiss white ass. You don't kiss white ass. They're mad because they kiss white ass and white people still treat them like trash. I'm not going to kiss your ass and your system still treat my people like trash. I'm not patriotic to a motherfucker country that has enslaved my people, killed my people. Right now, today, what happened to the George Floyd bill? They don't give a fuck about black people in the world or in this damn country. So if you see me speaking the truth, shut the fuck up, you bougie ass nigga. You a coward. You got too much white dick and white ass and white pussy in your mouth. That's why you can't speak the truth. When you see the news around the George Floyd situation, you bougie niggas was quiet. You couldn't say nothing. You couldn't give your opinion because your white mate was looking at you and see how you think. We know it's fucked up what happened to George Floyd only in racist America. Only in racist America. But we can't say nothing when they kill our babies. We can't say nothing when they lynch our people going through sundown towns. We supposed to be quiet according to the bougie nigga because they love white people. It's not our fault. Quit being selfish, you bougie niggas. When you hear somebody speak the truth about white people, you go hysterical. You're flat out mad. You're calling that person a race hater. But the race haters are the ones who enslave my people. The race haters is up on Capitol Hill, Democrat and Republican. They don't give a fuck about black people. You have a racist, neo-Nazi president called Donald Trump. You don't say nothing, bougie ass Negroes, about Donald Trump. Why? Because your man looked like Donald Trump. You feel what I'm saying? So you don't say anything. You just walk around looking for white Caucasian validation. But I'm glad I studied who the fuck I am as a black man. I don't have to bow down to white supremacy. I'm a black man. I got an ego. I don't got to worship another man. You feel what I'm saying? I'm the black man, original man. I know where the fuck I come from. I was on this planet before the white man. But we angry for spitting the truth. Malcolm X was angry for spitting the truth. Martin Luther King, something was wrong with Martin Luther King. He didn't see what was going on in this country. You bougie niggas want us to stay down. You see what I'm saying? You don't like Martin Luther King, bougie nigga. You don't like Malcolm X, bougie nigga, because they try to turn things around. They try to help black people. Anybody try to help black people, you bougie niggas don't like it, and you're black. So what's wrong with that picture? So you the one crazy. No one can speak the truth. You call the truth anger. Because we expose the white supremacists. I can't help it that you lay in the bed with a white man or a white woman. They look like the same people who oppressed my people. It's not my fault. You choose to be with a Neanderthal. You feel me? I don't have a fetish for white flesh like you, and I don't make excuse for white abuse. If it's abuse, I'm a motherfucker speak on it. I'm a speak on it. I'm a black man in America. I'm supposed to have nuts and balls and masculinity to speak out against my natural born enemy. I don't give a fuck how you feel, how many white dicks and white pussies you suck. Just for your pleasure of a white fetish, we can't say anything because you label white men. You chose to label white women. What's wrong with you selfish Negroes? That's why you can't speak the truth. Listen, man, black people, that Pan-African spirit for freedom still burning with passion like fire. And then there's one thing I learned and understood when I started studying. The colonizer, the white man, he has always feared black unity among our people. And today, we can see that fear. We can see the expression of uncertainty among the white supremacists. Oh yeah. The white supremacist governments of the West, they fear the rise of black people, especially on the continent of Africa. In particular, Africa, because of her raw natural resources that Africa's terrain produces. The France economy depends on the raw resources of Africa to live prestigious. And her economy is declining because she has been kicked out of at least 3 major footholds in Africa where she was accumulating monetary gain. Now you could go turn on the TV, the news, Google it. France economy is plunging because she's losing power in Africa. The economy is collapsing. She has been expelled from major pipelines of economy where she relied on 3 African countries. France was robbing these countries for the gold and other precious minerals. This is what the white man does in Africa. That's why he got to go. And we got to get rid of these house Negroes. The house Negro got to go. In order for France to have a foothold in Africa, the president had to be bowing down to the white man. And see, that's what I speak on. I'm not bowing down to the white man. When I'm a black man, I don't have to bow down to no man. I'm bowed down to no white Jesus. You feel me? Yes, Burkina Faso is one of the countries that kicked France out. They took control of their own destiny in 2022 by staging a coup to oust France's puppet-backed president. You know, you always got the house Negro in the way who love white people, bend over and do the extra mile for white people. We can't look within ourselves. And this is how they destroyed us. God's telling me the William Lynch letter ain't real, but why do we act according to what William Lynch said in his letter? We are programmed to go against self-hate. Self-hatred is one of the mechanisms that William Lynch taught the black slave. William Lynch of 1712, the white slave owner who taught other slave owners how to control the African, because the African, when she got here, they was fighting, running away, killing themselves. They wouldn't work for whitey. So William Lynch had to come from South America where he had a slave plantation, I think in Tijuana. So he had to come to America in 1712 in Virginia, Jamestown, Virginia, and give a speech to his brothers of the slave trade to control the slave. So we act accordingly to the William Lynch letter. If you read that whole William Lynch letter in the rules and regulations, how to break a slave, you know, how they did black women, you know, but black women mad at me today for speaking out against the Neanderthal, to say Neanderthal that burnt their ass alive, who raped them on slave ships. You know, let's talk about the brutal sexual exploits that were done to black women by the white man. You old bed wench. You don't want me to speak out against the white man because you're now his program bed wench. You are his bed witch. Black men don't want me to speak out because they think I'm disrespecting their snow bunny hopping. They're snow bunny hopping. You feel what I'm saying? I'm just telling the truth. Your people that you date look like the people who oppress my people. That's not my fault. That's your choice. You want me to be quiet? Get out of here. Get out of here. Yes, the puppet-backed president Roach Kabore was France's puppet. So France military was kicked out of Burkina Faso after they staged the coup and took over. And the president of Burkina Faso is now Ibrahim Traore, a real black man, a stand-up black man who's doing things for the country, not taking the money and lacing France pockets. See, they don't like when black people help black people. They want to disrupt the unity. So this black man takes over, a young 36-year-old president of Burkina Faso. He takes over and start building roads and schools, using the gold to bring prosperity to the nation. And Trump don't like it. When Trump came into office, he sent Ibrahim Traore an invitation to sit down with him at the White House and speak. Ibrahim Traore refused. Why sit down with the enemy who trying to get back into the good foes of Africa so they can exploit Africa? That's what America and white Western worlds do. They go exploit and kill and rape and plunder, all in the name of democracy, which is a hypocrisy. You see, but I'm an angry man for telling y'all the truth. When America, white Western worlds like France and Germany, when they in Africa and in Asia and different parts of the world, they only there to steal and kill anybody they get in their way. They go right to Italy and hire some mercenaries to go into Africa, into Sudan and the Congo to kill black Africans. Who pay for these proxy wars with the American dollar? So that's why the American dollar must be undermined by BRICS nation. Once the dollar is undermined, you can't pay negroes and mercenaries to go into Africa to keep it destabilized so you could come in as a peacekeeper, but you really come as a robber, like you've been doing, a rapist, like you've been doing. You want to plunder, you want to steal from the land. You know, you want to topple any government that does good by the people. And that's what white supremacy is all about. And that's how white America is strong, because they go around the world stealing and killing and raping, all in the name of what? Democracy. Yeah. So the military of American military, France military was kicked out of Burkina Faso. The white military was emboldened the Islamic terrorists. They was emboldening the Islamic terrorists by funding them with money and military weapons to attack Africans. That's what's going on in Burkina Faso with France and America's so-called peacekeepers who's supposed to help Burkina Faso government stop insurgents like Boko Haram, Islamic surges, from attacking Burkina Faso, but they was funding the terrorists. Did you know that ISIS is America? America is ISIS, is Boko Haram, is the Taliban. The Taliban is funded by the American government. I got proof. They keep Africa destabilized. Why are we not talking about what's going down in the Congo? Elon Musk, in order for his electric car to run up and down these streets, that you be seeing these old ugly ass cars that look like a damn trash can on motherfucking wheels, that old ugly ass car, what Africans have to suffer is called cobalt. Cobalt is extracted by kids in the Congo. And that's why the Congo is destabilized, because America, France, and other European nations paid for proxy wars to keep Africans killing Africans. How is it that these Islamic insurgents had these USA military guns and these German guns? How is it that these people have the high technology when it comes to weapons? Where are they getting these weapons from? Who funding Boko Haram? to attack its own people. You have to be a stupid Negro. That's why we got to get rid of these twisted backward Negroes who using Islam as a crutch to attack their own people because they people Christians. We got black Christians being attacked by black Muslims who adopted the Islamic faith. Backward Negroes. Religion has always been black people's downfall. You know, we was in African spirituality. We didn't do the things that we do today. You see what I'm saying? So it's like a firebug, man, that's going on in Africa. Those people in Africa are wising up, raising up, waking up, and that's scary. Mali in 2020 started this Pan-African revolution by its military coup, who ousted a Western white supremacist backed president, Ibrahim Keita. Now, Keita was bending over backwards for white France. The people of Mali rose up and kicked the house Negro out, oust the house Negro. And that's what we're going to have to do as black people. Because in order to go to war with your natural born enemy, you have to get rid of people who look like you. That's a damn shame. It's a damn shame that black people are programmed to go against self. And you trying to call me crazy because I speak out and say what's real, and you programmed to go against black people? You a slave patroller. You the police. That's why you a stool pigeon. You quick to turn black people in as black people because you see the world through the eyes of a Caucasian. That's how brainwashed black people are. You a stool pigeon now. You bend over backwards and take white dick to only lace your pockets with money while the rest of the nation starve. That's not right. You want to lace France. You want to make America rich. You want to make Germany rich. You want to make Canada rich. You want to make Great Britain rich. We know how Great Britain got rich off the backs of black people. We ain't going to talk about the so-called royal family. How do they become royal? How do some dusty cave people become royal? Because they stole royalties from us, black people. Where all that gold come from that the royal family got, that the royal family has? Nobody wants to talk about that. You racist when you bring up how they got paid and how they became royalty for stealing our royalties. You feel me? You can't expose the wicked. When you expose the wicked, people say you crazy for exposing the wicked. But when you do something, they have you all on TV like P. Diddy every day. You know what I'm saying? They got, now they want to talk about Michigan's black coach. See, they hold us up for torture in the media all the time, and then we chime in as good Negroes. I don't pay attention to none of that. I don't pay attention to none of that because it's too many of us always going out our way to dismantle our own people. So I don't participate in the coonocracy. You know, that's coon. I don't get into cooning. That's for you boozy niggas who like to coon. You feel me? So then Niger set the stage for their coup in 2023. The military leaders oust France and America's backed president, Mohamed Bazoum. See, America will go over and kill the revolutionary, the masculine stand-up black man who wants to do something for the peoples. That's wrong. I don't care what you say. How many white dicks and white pussies you suck to try to make excuse for white abuse? That is wrong. And you know it's wrong. But you turn the other way because you love the white supremacists. You turn the other way because you don't like yourself. The white supremacists embedded in your head that you wasn't nobody. You don't even understand that the white man is a liar by nature, a killer by nature. He loves to tell fairy tales. You still believe that a fat man come down your chimney to bring you presents. You still practice Christmas today, a fairy tale holiday. So you can't tell me that what I'm saying is non-reality. You live in non-reality. You trying to say this is a multicultural world, and I'm looking at this world, it's an anti-black world. It's so anti-black, you got blacks joining the white supremacists to attack black people. I see it all the time. In fact, my YouTube channel is underrated because I don't talk about black people like the conservative twins, the Hodges brothers, the two light-skinned brothers who sat around and demoralized black people, like the Kansas Orange effect. You feel me? You got a lot of black people who hate black people. That is crazy. The white man did a good job mentally to our people on that slave plantation. You can't say nothing out your mouth against those people. You're wrong. In the eyes of a bougie nigga. So Mohammed Bazoum was kicked out, ousted out, you know. So these three Western countries, West African countries, Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso, had joined allegiance in the Sahel region of West Africa. So these three nations, they all kicked out Western military and formed allegiance against colonialism in the African Sahel. This power frightened the Western world. Still, the Western world is on edge about Africa because the Chinese is there, Russia's there, North Korea is back in Africa against the West. The rise of black people in Africa has the white supremacists and the house slave in fear of losing their position in the world, where they benefit from black people's struggle of being powerless. Just think, you got black people who profit and benefit from black people's struggle of being powerless. But the time has come for black people to wake up out that slave trance and stop serving white supremacists. Stop serving white supremacy. It's time for the Africans to rise. Even Negroes in this country claim to be FBA. Act like they jealous of African unity of pushing back against white dominance. See, we can't recognize that. See, I'm gonna get on these FBA motherfuckers for a minute because I agree with Professor James Small. Anything right now to keep disunity among black people, you got to be working with the CIA and the FBI to keep making these videos to keep black people disunified. No matter where we at as black people, we are one people. And somebody is trying to keep the disunity between Africans, African Americans, Africans from Brazil, Africans from Haiti. You don't want to unite. You see what I'm saying? The FBA can't see it's our turn. They can't see it's our turn. You know, the FBA can't see it's our time to rule. And the revolutionary stance is happening now. Can Africa be the model of a super world power? Can Africa be a super world power? What if Africa dropped the Western currency of America and Europe? I think black people in America, the FBA, black people in America, I think you need an ally, an African ally, especially if the economy collapsed here in America due to the BRICS nation. If Africans join the BRICS nation, America will suffer because everybody need Africa. I remember somebody was saying that America was the motherland. Small America was the motherland. It's responsible for the billions of black people on the planet. That America was the motherland. But I got to thinking, how is America the motherland? How cold she is in certain regions. And why her grounds don't produce like African grounds. It doesn't make any sense to call it the motherland. If it was the motherland, then the white man wouldn't have to travel 9,000 miles away from America to go into Africa and kill and steal and rape and plunder for natural resources to make your cell phone. You don't have the proper resources in America to make cell phone because those properties come from Africa, South Africa. So America in the white Western world, Africa is very important. So how is America the motherland? I think Africa is the surrogate mother of America and all Western worlds. As Africa goes, so do the Western world goes. They've been making money off Africa for many of centuries. Read history. I don't want no one from this new era talking about no Indians. I don't want nobody talking about we ain't African. I don't want to hear those Negroes. Them niggas don't do no reading. That's right. They have no real data to back up their thesis. The slave trade didn't happen. We're Indian. You know what I mean? They have no real live data. They don't read the history thoroughly. Like, they claim to be Cherokee Indians. But when I studied the Cherokee Indians in the 90s, the Cherokee Indians were part of the five civilized tribes who owned African people as slaves. So that the Cherokee chief, Cherokee male, they did impose themselves upon African women and rape African women and bring about a mixed race baby. You sure you don't have any African blood running through your veins? You say you Choctaw Indians own African people as slaves. They part of the five civilized tribe. And how I know this is true, I was watching that DNA show where the black man gives celebrities their DNA. Well, Don Cheeto found out that his African ancestors were owned by the Chickasaw Nation. The Chickasaw, so you say you Chickasaw, you say you don't have any African blood running through your bloodline. I got to think about that because the men always impose themselves on the women in war. Because it's an act of war when somebody enslaved your people. That's war. You see what I'm saying? We still at war and we don't even know it. So I just want to say, I don't want to listen to a Dane Calloway and any of these Negroes who don't do no thorough research. I've been doing this since the 90s. I've been knowing that who the Indian people were, who African people were. I've been knowing that Africans was in this country before the Asian straight people got here. Africans circumnavigated the planet in a ship. We was the first boat builders. How you think Columbus visited America, the Americas? He landed in El Salvador, 1492, and saw them pale-faced people call them Indians. So you call yourself an Indian. You name yourself out what a white man named some pale people, red people, Indians. He also in his diary said that there were some Africans here. So he know the distinguish between the two. He know there's a difference between the two. So what are you talking about? So let's get back to what I was saying about Africa. Africa gonna light the fire for revolution. She already lit the fire because African people are rising up. That's a threat to the United States and the white world. How in the hell I'm black from America looking down on what I'm seeing? See, I pay attention. I'm proud of black people standing up. I don't care where you at. I'm not gonna be jealous of your success. You just showing the world who we are. Ibrahim Traore, the president of Burkina Faso, wise brother. See, Ibrahim Traore is one black man who don't bow down to the West. He pushes back against his oppressor. He pushes back against the oppressor. And that's what I like about Ibrahim Traore. A black man is doing this. So I'm not the type of black man that's gonna hate you because you're a Brazilian African. That's not my platform. You know what I'm saying? My platform is to unite us, to go against our common foe. You feel what I'm saying? So Ibrahim Traore and the people of Mali and Niger set the stage for revolution. So the people of the African country Benin, that is near Burkina Faso in the Sahel, want to align themselves with Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali. So you know what they did on Sunday, December 7th? They tried to oust the back France president, Patrice Talon, by staging a coup. Now the coup was disrupted some type of way, but we know the coup wasn't successful, but the spirit of Pan-Africanism has awakened the continent for change. Don't y'all know the majority of the biggest youth population in the world is in Mother Africa? This got the white man on edge. But you know what, y'all? You know what stopped this coup? A house nigga intervened. It was the military, the Nigerian military, that was called up on by Emmanuel Macron, the president of France. Nigeria puppet is Bolo Tinubu, the puppet president of Nigeria. Tinubu dropped bombs on Benin. Nigeria's president dropped bombs on Benin to defuse the military coup. You see what I'm saying? Tinubu dropped bombs on his own people, African people. See, we gotta get into us. When you harm another African, you're in violation. Especially you harm an African for no reason, just because the white man wants you to. Emmanuel Macron, France president, has a foothold in Nigeria. Nigerian president must go. The house nigga must go. Tinubu dropped bombs on African people for the white boy. We got to get rid of these people. We got to get rid of these people. These house niggas. Peace and black power. Mash up the likes. Leave comments below. Tell me what y'all think about this subject. I'm gone.
It's underground where the TV come banging on the beats. I gotta keep my information real for my peeps on the streets. It's underground where the TV, they label me underrated, hated by the devil in his house, Negro, but they can't stop the flow of information. Underground where the TV station, raising hell in this wicked nation. Liberation be the reason in any season. You can find underground where the TV banging on the beats. Underground where the TV banging on the beats. Underground Warrior TV. Underground Warrior TV. Come banging on the beats. Underground Warrior TV. Underground Warrior TV.